Hello, everybody. Today we are going to work on a song by Ricky Nelson called Lonesome Town. And this is going to be probably an intermediate lesson, I would say, mainly because we're going to do this in the key of C. There's one caveat about that, though. I'll explain that in a second. So we're going to have the C, there's going to be an F and an F minor, which is kind of tricky for if you're beginner level. But I'll show you a few alternatives as well. Okay, so first of all, I'm tuned a half step flat on my guitar. So this song is in the key of B. And so Ricky Nelson is tuned down a half step and he plays in the key of C. And being tuned a half step gives him the key of B. And later on in the lesson, I'll probably show you a couple different alternative keys you can play it into to still, maybe to make it a little bit easier. I don't know. I've tried different keys to play this, and I've tried the key of A with the CAPO on the second fret, and I've seen some people doing it with the CAPO on the third fret and playing it in G. And maybe if I have time, we'll look at that. But half a dozen one way, six the other. They all seem to have their each key has its individual challenges. So we're just going to start off here with in the key of C and play it exactly like or not exactly, but as closely as we can do the original, okay? So the intro, now again, I'm going to assume you're intermediate, so you probably know most of these chords, like your C, your E minor, and your F, and your G7th, and all that. And I'll put up some chord charts for you and the lyrics and all that good stuff. But he starts off first with this little half step from the B. And the strumming is just kind of like this. Okay. Or you could just strum up and down. Didn't realize this mic is going to be in the way here. Let me move this up here a little bit. My wiggly mic stand here. Okay, so you can strum, whatever your level is, but he's kind of doing this kind of thing here. See what I'm doing on my C chord here? And when you do this little picking technique here, just hit your first note and let the pick fall on the next string, and then just follow through. Okay, so that's going to be the C chord. So it's going to go a measure on the C, E minor. See, again, see when I hit that first note, my pick falls on the A string, and I'm just alternating to the next string up. Now the F, I'm grabbing this F with my thumb. You could do it this way here. I don't really like doing it this way because you can kind of see the transition your wrist has to go through. So I tend to do it here with my thumb. Now that's the intro, so it's just C, E minor, F, and it could be, I think they maybe go to the G, but I just tend to always go to the G7th. It's not going to really matter too much. Do it with the G. If you play the G, you could do it this way to kind of keep you in the same position. Instead of doing this again, see the rotation your wrist has to go through. If you're used to playing it that way, it's not that big of a deal. But for me, if I do it, Okay, so let me show you a little trick. If if you're on the kind of on the cusp of between a beginner and intermediate, like if the F is still giving you issues, let me show you a little trick you can do on the F. So if you play your C chord here. Okay, so if you put your pinky right underneath your third, okay, and then drop your second finger down, and don't worry so much about the first string, because that's kind of hard for most people to do, and you have to kind of get your thumb back here. So normally when I put my thumb up here, I'm not actually playing the high E string, it's just dead. But that's a good, if you're just learning how to play and you're working on that F chord, work on this right here, because this is a good way to get you into that F, and then you can eventually add that first string in there. So then you're going to have okay, so let me run through that intro real quick for you one more time then, after explaining that F, the dreaded F chord as we call it. Okay, so it's going to go again. I'll go a little bit slower. Then when it goes into the verse, you're going to have, it's going to go to the E major instead of the E minor. So basically the same thing we just did on the intro. So it's going to go, there's a place where lovers go to cry their troubles away, and they call it Lonesome Town. Okay, so I'm going to try not to sing too much of this because I don't want to try not to get a copyright hit on this video. There's a place where lovers go. So let me kind of take you through this, the first verse, and give you some tips on this. So again, having the F chord in here really makes it hard. It's even kind of difficult for me just doing, these big cowboy chords here. I'll show you a little trick here. There's a place where lovers go. So if you play your E chord like this instead of like this, this is kind of, this is important, especially if you're just learning how to do your bar chords. Get used to playing your E like this, just with different fingering. Okay, so you're going to have your third finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and your pinky is going to be on the 4th string, 2nd fret, and then your second finger is going to be on the 3rd string. Now look what happens when you're here on the C. See how now you can slide right into that F, because remember, this bar chord is an E-shaped bar chord, okay? It has that E chord in there, okay? So that could be an option for you. And now another thing you can do too is notice if I play my C like this, and then when I put my root down here, well, I'm playing, well actually this is the root and this is the 5th. So I'm going root, 5th. But notice I can put my pinky down there too. And we get that full C chord with the bass in it. But now you already have that E shape right there. So now it's just a matter of doing this. Now, and again, if you don't want to get if it's too hard for you to get your thumb down there, just go above. See, you got your A string, and it's going to go to an F sharp minor there. So basically, this right here, your second finger, you got your root, third, and your fifth right there. Okay, on your F. So remember, if you've watched my previous lessons, if you flat the third, that's going to give you a minor. Okay, that's all we're doing. We got your F chord here. We're just going to flat the third. Okay. So let me take you through that whole section there. So So that's the first verse. I'm going to do that one more time for you real slow. Okay, now you can see where I'm at right here. If I just move everything down and back, and here's your F. Okay, so that takes you up through the second verse, and then so it's going to end up doing price you pay. There's a heart full of tears. So then it's going to go to the F. So again, this will kind of work out really good for you on this E minor. So one thing you can do if you want to do like a little walk up, he doesn't actually do this when he plays it, but okay, so now it's going to go F to E minor. Now you could just do this. Okay, but look at this here. So when you're on this F chord here, I'm going to walk up from the C. See, because you already have these two fingers where they need to be. So when you're on that F, just drop them down. Okay, so then it's going to go to the D. You could, from the E minor to the D, or you could do a D seventh. I think they just do a D, but you know, sometimes I'm always so used to playing like a seventh there on that D when it does that. So it doesn't really matter though. And then on the recording, there's a little background vocal, and I kind of just feel like it needs that walk down on there. So that sounds really nice to do. Now we're into the third verse. Lonesome Town, I can learn to forget. Okay, and then that's the end of the song. So that's the whole thing. So you have a few challenges in there, mainly just working on that F chord. And I have to admit, I haven't played my acoustic for a while. I've been playing my electric, and give me it's a little bit. I can feel it's like it's not that easy to play even for me. So, you know, I'm sure if I practiced it a few days, it would come back to me. So again, just, you know, work on that C, the little exercise between the C and the F, just work on that. And remember, if you're having problems with this, remember going slow is your friend. So, you know, you could take it, you know, separate it into pieces, like on the C, you know, make sure you have that strumming down first. You know, I almost don't even really think about it that much when I'm playing. I may not play it, you know, the same way 2 times in a row. Actually, I should point that out, because if you play the low E first, that's going to give you a little bit more time. So you could play it this way. And again, you know, I'm kind of overly analyzing this just to kind of make it. Oh, why does this computer always do that? Okay, sorry about that. My screen went black on me. So. So if you hit that low E first, that gives you a chance to, so you already have this E shape here. That gives you a chance to drop that down. And now you slide back up. And I'll do the bridge, or the chorus part slow too. So let's do the bridge one more time. I'll go a little bit slower on it. Okay, then it does a little tag on. Maybe down in Lonesome Town, I can learn to forget. Okay, so, and maybe my playing it slow wasn't so slow, because that's actually a pretty slow song anyways, but yeah, that's a tough one in C, but I think you know, if you practice it slow, you'll be able to get it down. I'm surprised it's actually kind of hard for me to do this today for some reason. Maybe down in Lonesome Town, I can learn to forget. Just end it there. Okay, so folks, that's it. That's the way that Ricky Nelson originally played it, and I think I was reading up there saying that you know, he just tuned it flat because it sounds a little bit more full. I know like a lot of guitar players tune their guitar flat, like their acoustic guitars, and makes things like a lot easier to sing. I mean, you could just do it in the key of C just with your guitar tuned, standard tuning if it fits your voice. I mean, it is easier to sing like that, and I've messed around with tuning my guitar flat like that, but it's always like every time I do that, I always need it back in standard tuning. But I guess if you had like an extra guitar, you could do that, if you're playing it often enough. So as far as other keys go, I'm not gonna do the whole song, but I'll just show you just kind of basically how you could do this if it's giving you a problem like on the F chord and all that. You can capo here on the 2nd fret and play an A. But the problem with A, now you have a C sharp minor. And it'll be a C7 there. Okay, so, it works in A. I don't know. I don't think it sounds quite as good, though. It sounds a little bit more brighter, and this is kind of a sad song. So you could transpose it in the key of A, Now, this would still be in the key of B, though. Like I say, we're playing in the key of A, but you're really in the key of B because you can look at it this way. Here's your B bar chord. Okay. And we're basically putting our capo right there where the bar is. So that's what's happening there, okay? Now, the other thing you can do instead of playing it with A, you can move it up to this point here and play it in G. So now you would have this. It would be okay, so you could do it in that key. You could just transpose it to play it like using the G chord. But again, that sounds really bright. It almost doesn't fit the spirit of the song. So if you could, I would say probably play it in C, or just play it. If you have a higher voice, just play it in C and sing it a half step higher. So, okay, folks, anyways, that's it. Hope that wasn't too awfully confusing. It's like I haven't been doing videos enough lately, and I'm trying to get up to trying to get some more subscribers, trying to hit the 1,000 mark. So I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. And I think I'll just see how this goes, and if it goes over well, maybe I'll do some more like this. But I just wanted to do something a little bit easier to kind of break back into making the videos. Okay, so anyways, folks, thank you so much. Have a great day, and we will catch you next time around. Bye-bye.